This session will be mainly about the impact of how much you reinvest on your earnings. I'm going to show you in just a moment an Excel sheet that our team has been working on. And this Excel sheet, what you see right now on your screen, this is less than 1% of the Excel sheet that we've been working on with our team. And this Excel sheet, as you can see, a little part, less than 1% on your screen of right now, that is like the whole economy system calculated, predicting all the calculations of the game. This main Excel sheet and has been worked on to create this over several months by several people. Also, how it all started actually is apart from economy experts creating the mechanics of the game, then also in collaboration with the professor, PhD professor at one of the top 5 universities in the UK, who has reviewed everything and has taught for his whole life gaming theory and economy, has reviewed everything. And then one of our amazing data analysts, he has created based on that, he's been working for many weeks to create an Excel sheet with 12,553 rows and 668 columns in just one tab. And there are like 4 tabs of these, right? Right now on your screen, you see a very small picture of only 80 columns and 270 rows. Compared with all the other tabs that we have for this, this is less than 1% you're looking at. We have looked under every stone, every little thing to create the white paper, the economy, and everything that you see on the game. And the dashboard might look complex to you. Well, this is everything that happens behind the scenes. And why we did this is because we want to create the best game ever on the BSC scan. And all the mechanics, all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes of the game, and also the rewards of the monsters and so on. It looks simple, but it's not just invented, and it's not just this percentage or this reward just like that because we wanted it. No, it's all calculated, predicted, checked, rechecked, played by people in V2, played again, and so on. So I just want to give a big thank you to our team to creating all this and making this happen. For now, it's been a year working on all of this. Now, in this session, we're going to present you a very simple summary of 3 scenarios. What happens if you invest $1,000, and what happens with those $1,000 if you reinvest 90% of it? What happens to the second scenario if you reinvest 55% of it? And what happens if you reinvest 0% of it? What, at the end of the day, over the course of several weeks, will happen to your investment? That's what we're going to cover today. And this calculation, what you see here, that looks pretty simple, is based on these 12,000 rows in an enormous Excel sheet, and is pretty accurate, I can say. So that's what we're going to cover. And before we go there, let's do a little bit of hunting, because I'd like to show you where in the game itself you can see and apply what we're going to discuss in this session. It's pretty simple for people who have attended the previous AMA or AMAs, but if you didn't, then we'll start very quickly from the start for the newcomers. Basically, one of the biggest introductions in the V3 of the game is the smart claim system. The Samaritan stars are part of it, And at the top of your dashboard, on the top right, you can see a number of stars. And that's your Samaritan stars. And what it boils down to is that if every time you hunt and you get money in your unclaimed wallet, and you take the money out to your MetaMask and claim it and so on, oh, great, we won. Awesome. Every time you claim, every time you click here and claim the amount, claim it to your MetaMask, you will pay tax. You need to wait until your tax goes down to 0%. But if you keep claiming and not reinvest, then that tax will become higher and will go down to 0% over a longer period of time, because you will have very little Samaritan stars and you will be taxed more. So if you claim and keep claiming and keep taking money out of the economy, basically what we call it in the white paper is you're a funk, big time funk, and you keep claiming, well, you will be taxed more. And we'll have a look at what kind of impact this has on your earnings. Now, on the other side, if you reinvest, you don't have to reinvest everything, but a part of it, then you will pay less tax because you help to sustain the economy for everyone else. So it's fair for all the players. And you're basically a Samaritan, somebody who has a lot of Samaritan stars. And if you do that, then you will have lower taxes, and also you will your tax will decrease quicker. So that's that. And whether you go for 10%, 50%, 80% reinvesting or claiming, that's something that you need to decide yourself based on what we're going to discuss in just a moment. Now with this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reinvest this because I want to increase my Samaritan stars. So I'm going to click on reinvest. And here I can choose the amount that I want to reinvest. I have about 15 bloodstone. I can reinvest half of it, or I can reinvest all of it. And when you change this number here, you will see that the calculation immediately is done for you. Right? You will see that the Samaritan stars are calculated how much you will get depending on how much you will reinvest. So that's how it works. So I'm going to reinvest. What it means when I reinvest is that this amount that I want to reinvest is transferred to my reinvest wallet. Very important. Once money is inside the reinvest wallet, you cannot take it out to your MetaMask anymore. The only way you can use it, spend it, is by summoning or creating legions, summoning warriors, summoning beasts, and or creating updating legions. So I have now $14 bloodstone in my reinvest wallet. And when I click on summon warriors, I can choose reinvest. And this means that I can use the reinvest wallet to summon my warrior. So I click on reinvest, and you will see in just a moment that this amount will be reduced. So I'm using my reinvest wallet for summoning right now. I transferred the amount from my unclaimed wallet here. This is a good thing, right? This is something good. Why? Because okay, let me do this again. Because in this way, my Samaritan stars increase and my reinvest percentage increases, which is a good thing because I will pay over time less taxes. Taxes will go down quicker, and I will basically make more money in this way. And of course, at some point, I would like to take it out, but that's to be decided when. Now, how does reinvesting or not reinvesting impact what you earn. Let's have a look at 3 scenarios. Let's imagine that you invest $1,000 into the game to summon warriors, summon beasts, create legions, and all the money that you need for also the supplies and so on. Everything that you spend into the game, that's $1,000. Now imagine that every time you can, every time that 20 days are, well, the first time 20 days are passed, but later on it will be more, that you claim. You claim 100%. Everything. You don't reinvest anything. That's why reinvest is here 0%. Well, over time, this is what will happen to your total earned from hunting. This is what you earn from hunting the monsters. This is what will happen to your attack power, because if you don't reinvest, if you claim everything, then thanks to the, or due to the legion damage, your attack power will reduce over time. And also, this is what you claim to MetaMask. This is the net amount after taxes, everything that you earn into MetaMask. Let's have a look at this closer. So you invest $1,000. This is what you earn on the first day. After 21 days, you have earned $1,000 back. This is pretty accurate. Every 2-3 weeks approximately, you make your money back. And now what does happen to your attack power? You see the attack power is here decreasing, and this is what you're getting into your MetaMask. Yes, after 3 weeks, you will have $1,000 back in your MetaMask. That's great. But then you have a little bit of shortcomings. You need to reinvest a little bit for supplies and other stuff. And after 2 months, you will have earned through the game over $2,000, but you will have been able only to get out of it still $1,000. After 90 days, if you don't reinvest at all, this will happen. And then after 4 months, you will have made through the game, in the game, about $2,500. And in your MetaMask, after all taxes, after everything, you'll end up with $1,400. If you don't reinvest, if you don't do anything else, if you claim always, non-stop. After 4 months, your attack power will have reduced from 27,000 to 5,000 after all the legion damage. Actually, already after 3 months, you won't be able to hunt anymore. That's what we calculated with this huge seed, because it doesn't make sense to hunt anymore because your legion is too weak. So this is what happens if you don't reinvest at all, if you claim the whole time. The reason why this happens and the reason why this is like this is because you can read in the white paper all the details about this in here, the new updates v3 section in the smart claim system. And have a look at these usual values here, this one here. If you do this, investing $1,000 and claiming 100%, not reinvesting anything, you will end up after 20 days with 0 Samaritan stars. And your claim tax will be 80% to start with, reduced over the course of 25 days to 30%. No matter what you do, if you stay at 0 Samaritan stars, you will always pay 30% tax when you want to take money out. Because you're a funk. You're not supporting the economy at all. It's not nice for other players, right? You're just doing everything to get out as much money as you can, as quickly as you can. Not nice. So, this is what you'll end up with. Now, let's have a look what happens if you invest $1,000 and if you claim 10%, right? and you reinvest 90%. So basically almost everything that you earn from the game, from hunting, you reinvest. Let's have a look what happens then. Well, after 3 weeks, 21 days, you will have earned in your unclaimed wallet $1,000 again. Your attack power will be this, and you will have claimed into your MetaMask $100. Well, you haven't earned much net in your MetaMask, but let's see what happens next. 2 months, last game survived 67 days. This V3 version, I feel, will survive quite a bit longer, but let's see. Worst case, 60 days, you will have earned from hunting $5,000, 5 times more than you put in, just from $1,000. Not putting anything else in it, just reinvesting 90%. Why is that? Well, because by reinvesting, you can reinforce your legions. Do you see here this attack power growing and growing and growing? After 4 months, you'll end up with 10 times more attack power than you initially had on the first day. And your earnings in the unclaimed wallet will have reached a total of $25,000. That's awesome. Well, okay, you will have earned in MetaMask only $1,000 by then, but here's the thing. You're earning a lot of money every single day. Basically, every single day you're making with this one over $1,000. So if you want to get out fast at this stage, well, you could claim basically a lot in a short amount of time. And yes, get out of the game at that moment. That seems a lot more beneficial than claiming and claiming and claiming on the way if you would not reinvest anything. So this scenario covers, if you reinvest 90%, you're basically reinvesting everything or almost everything that you can, and you're hovering above 4 stars. You're here at 5 stars. As you can see, what is really great for Samaritans with 5 stars is that if you reinvest over 80%, that your reinvest tax will be 36%. You can reinvest at no tax, 0% tax, every 18 days. That is why this attack power starts to grow really fast after 3 weeks. Because, yeah, you're just stacking up those reinvestment earnings to build your legions. And that's really powerful. This was the scenario if you reinvest 90%. It's up to you to decide what you do, right? We're just presenting here. We're not giving any financial advice. We're just presenting different scenarios. And for every person, it's a different story. Every person feels comfortable with a different approach. You can choose how much you reinvest yourself anytime. These scenarios, they cover how much you reinvest during the whole lifetime of playing the game. Of course, you can first decide to reinvest 90%, 100%, then you can switch to reinvesting 55%, then you can, in the next cycle, you can decide to reinvest 0%, just claim everything, then you can go back to 90%. You can switch between these scenarios as much as you want, as often as you want. At the same time, your Samaritan stars will be adapted accordingly. We haven't calculated in this session any mix of scenarios, right? Sometimes we're investing less or high. We're just doing all across the board the same reinvestment percentage. Now let's discuss this scenario in the middle. Again, you invest $1,000 and you reinvest 55%. 55% makes you hover around 3 Samaritan stars. I didn't put 50% for the scenario because if you reinvest 50%, then sometimes you end up with 2 stars for a while, because it's just like on the border. It depends, what's the source of your investment, how much you reinvest, and all these little details. So just for safety, for the scenario, for having a scenario for 3 Samaritan stars, we went here for a demonstration of what happens if you reinvest 55%. So in other words, you claim 45%, right? What happens to your $1,000? Well, 3 weeks later, you made $1,000 and you're unclaimed. You basically claim 45% of it, so about $500 you put into your unclaimed wallet. And let's have a look at the attack power. As you see, because you're refueling your legions, the attack power doesn't go down like in claiming 100%. It doesn't go up so fast and so much as when you would reinvest almost everything, but it's something in the middle. Well, it's a middle scenario, right? 55% reinvesting. But it's pretty strong and it's growing pretty okay. At the 4 months later, you'll end up with double the attack power than you had in the beginning. And let's have a look. After 4 months, you'll end up, if you reinvest 55%, you'll end up with $2,500 in your MetaMask, and you will have earned from hunting a total of $9,000 almost after 4 months. That's not bad, right? With an investment of $1,000 in the beginning. You have made your safe exit with around $1,000, somewhere between like 45, 50 days. So whatever you invested into the game after 45 days, long before the 67 record of our previous V2 game, you have all your money back that you invested in the game. You're totally safe. And you're just basically playing with whatever is on top of it. And it's up to you to decide what you do around 60, 90, or 120 days, whether you want to reinvest more or reinvest less. It's up to you, of course, to switch gears, whichever direction you want. But if you hover around 55% reinvesting, this is what happens, and this is what you'll end up with after 4 months, 120 days. What I've done here in marketing colors in red, orange, or green is like red, very low numbers, orange, like middle numbers, green, high numbers. So yeah, it's easy to understand, it's easy to see with just a blink of an eye what will happen, whether you choose for reinvesting 90%, 55%, or 0%. This is a simulation. I think it's pretty accurate, like I need 98, 90% accurate, because it's based on 12,000 rows in an Excel of 668 columns in just one sheet, and there are few of those sheets to calculate every single action and simulation within the game. So yeah, this is basically the summary. And now you know, based on this, which direction to go in the coming days. Because if you started the game like a week ago, then somewhere in the next 2 weeks, towards the end of in 2 weeks from now, you kind of will come to a point where you will, well, not really have to, but kind of think about making a decision. How much are you going to reinvest? And it's all up to you. So this is a good overview of the possible scenarios, what will happen to your portfolio, to your attack power, to your earnings into MetaMask, and your unclaimed earnings, how they will stack up or not stack up after a while when you keep playing the game. And you can read all about the Samaritan stars and all the details inside the Smart Claim System chapter in the new updates in V3. I strongly recommend to read all of that because it gives you a lot of information. And yeah, how you apply it in the game, as you've seen at the beginning of this session, it's really easy. You just click on the claim button, you choose claim or reinvest, and it's up to you how much you go for. And now with this, well, I think you have a pretty good feeling which one of those 3 scenarios, or maybe something in between here or here, you will go for. So that's that. Good luck with it. And yeah, I'm curious to see how it all develops.